What up? What up? We are back covering Real Housewives of Potomac season 9, episode 16 and 17. 17 is the season finale. So, J'tia, we have covered yet again another full season of Real Housewives of Potomac. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. I am ready to strut the strays, try not to poop on the floor, and wrap this season up.
Yeah, well, it was exciting. I had an amazing weekend. I was in
What did
Idaho.
you do?
I was in Idaho visiting one of my closest friends, J'tia, and we had a time. We went skiing, we went hot water spring dipping. Uh, and yeah, it was.
Yes, we had a great time at the. Oh, ooh, look at there. Yes, we went skiing, shushing down the slope, so you cannot see them because the visibility wasn't great. Bryce, you were a great skier, so I was very just enthralled by your ski prowess.
I appreciate that. Little J'tia got a little bit of my nasty attitude at times over this weekend, but when you
Wait, what about my ski prowess?
J'tia's a skier. She could ski. J'tia was going down the slopes. We had some fresh pow. And yeah, I did I did surprise myself. I did
Yes.
take a private lesson, and according to J'tia and my private instructor Carlos, they said I did very well, better than most beginners. I was on the slopes, I was on the lift, I was zoop, 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 zooping, but towards the end, I did take a couple of falls, and that killed my confidence. But J'tia was like, "You need to keep going. You need to keep going," and I kept going a little bit.
Yes. So much fun. We hit the lava springs. We got our pores open. So I really enjoyed it. And we got to watch some Real Housewives together. You know, that is one of our favorite shows. So
Yeah.
I'm ready. I've been holding out. We did not discuss during the show because we were trying to keep it cute and fresh for the Purple Pants Posse. So let's dive into it. I'm ready to talk.
Yeah, well, I mean, episode 16 for me was really interesting. We got to see the breakdown of Keiarna and Greg's relationship. Keiarna opens up to the ladies about how Greg don't like her on the
Mm.
show, and it really has become an issue in their relationship, and the ladies are
Mm.
pouring into Keiarna like, if he can't see how great of an opportunity this is for you, maybe he is not the one. We see Keiarna and Greg on a date, and it's a bit awkward. Greg doesn't seem that open. He seems to minimize a lot of Keiarna's feelings. Keiarna, to the audience, shares with us that like she's always making a way or considering Greg, and it feels like when it comes to her, Greg
Is
don't
he cons-
really.
Look? Is he doing some considerations? Because it don't sound like he considering nothing but his own feelings, and I'm not loving that. So I already said I wasn't feeling him. She need to just go ahead and let him go. Let him go.
Yeah. And then it was interesting because in episode 16, we see Staci is gearing up for strutting for strays. She sends the invitations out to the ladies. Karen responds that after her actions that Staci had at Ashley's event, Karen is not going to be attending her, or she will not be participating in the event. However, she will support her. And we all know at Ashley's Drag King performance, when Karen got that information that Gordon dropped to Ray about he knowing the paternity, Karen brought that to the group, used that against Mia. And during that fight, of course, Mia is like, "You're a drunk, you're all it is." And it seemed like Staci was siding with Mia, and Karen did not take that very lightly.
Karen kind of really shut down for me when they were trying, like when she was trying to bring it. And basically, she had Giselle on her side, and Giselle and Wendy too. So all of them were like, basically on Team Karen about, you shouldn't bring this up, yada, yada, yada. Of course, Mia does what she does. She goes for the jugular. It's kind of funny. She she fights like what's the little one who just had pregnant, little with the triangle.
Candace.
She kind of fights like Candace, but makes up a little bit faster or and is a little bit more fun on the back end. I would say so. It was giving me some of that. Like she just went for the jugular, and once Mia started going in, I Wendy and Giselle were not trying to back her up that much. Like they was on her team, but not like that. Not like Staci. Look, rode for Mia. Okay, so that was very interesting. And I think the Dom didn't want that smoke. She was like, whatever. I see that Staci is going harder for Mia than my side is going for me, so we just gonna let it go. I also would like to talk about Ashley's drag king performance.
Okay, what you got to say?
I did not think she was a very attractive man.
I thought.
I thought she was an attractive lady.
Well, I don't think that she was a pretty man. I think that she was a handsome man.
Mm. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you think that. I also thought that it was very interesting when she busted out her pecs.
But when she bust out her kahunas, first of all, I'm like,
her pecs. That she's
her
a drag
pecs.
king. It's her pecs.
Okay, her pecs. I'm like, Uncle Lump is in the building. Uncle Lump is not trying to see your pec, Ashton. Like, put them away.
Ash top.
Top.
STOP. So it was sort of confusing because I wasn't getting drag king. I was getting lady in a suit. So, which I thought it was supposed to be more believable. Like the dude who was the drag king, who was her mentor, I got drag king.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think Ashley did a good job. They did
I
great.
enjoyed the performance. So like, I look, the lady in the suit was enough for me. But yeah.
Okay. I mean,
I liked that her family was very into it. And
yeah,
so was Karen.
Karen was into it. Karen got a little turned on, they said. And I mean, it might fit what they say about the grand dame. Another interesting thing about Staci inviting the ladies to Strutting for Strays. Giselle shows up and Giselle says she won't be participating because she possibly could have gotten bit by a dog. She got PTSD. And also she did not donate.
She ain't want to do it. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she didn't want to do it because Staci didn't come on time to her charity event. She chose Karen's, and Giselle kicked them out. And Giselle says that when they had their 2 GNA events to benefit, I believe it's like the Brain Tumor Society of America, Staci ain't drop a coin. And so Giselle was like, I ain't having it. I thought it was interesting in that moment. A lot of comments online was like, Giselle couldn't hold back her mean girl all season. This is the Giselle we know. The real Giselle is coming out.
I'm team Giselle on that one. So whatever, I'm with her with the mean girl stuff. I thought it was very interesting because it's like we're seeing this quasi emergence of Staci. There was a lot of Staci in this episode. Also, can we discuss? Are we ready to discuss her friend, the other Jay?
Well, I mean, yes, because I definitely want to get to him, but that's in episode 17. The last thing in episode 16 that I wanted to bring up was, first of all, Dr. Wendy. She is going to the White House for the Wendy show. But listen, we love Wendy, but we really love Eddie. Did you peep Eddie's new merch? Okay, not happy Eddie. His shirt said "Got Eddie." Now that is marketing because it is clearly an edible, but obviously Happy Eddie got Eddie. Like when I tell you, well, I guess I shouldn't tell you, but I'll tell you now. When I saw that episode, I immediately went to Eddie's Instagram and I immediately purchased that shirt and I immediately sent it to an address in Chicago, Illinois.
Ooh.
Because we like to support the merchandise, and I just thought Got Eddie is very funny. Wendy has come a long way in my book, and I mean, again, Wendy's been probably my favorite outside of the order of my favorite women this season is Staci, Giselle, Wendy.
Really?
I'm always
your number one?
Staci ate this season. Staci had a great season. And as we go into the season finale, episode 17, some are saying that Staci dethroned the Grand Dame.
Okay, don't get ridiculous, because I'll tell you some of the things that I remember she did talk about, not being on child support or something like that. And I was like, I was totally blown. I thought this was the dumbest thing I've ever
Her
heard
husband's
of.
going to
That
take care
she
of
gave up.
Arabella.
Okay, child. I mean, no, they don't always start out like that, but I mean, it's a lot of them start out like that, then be having a change of heart. So
Well,
I thought that was
listen,
very stupid. That was dumb.
he's going to take care of Arabella.
DUMB. That was dumb. First of
And
all, you ain't got no damn job, child. I mean, child, whatever. Really
listen,
silly.
spousal
Very
support is
silly.
forever. Child support ends at 18. Listen, if he gonna take care of her daughter and he gonna take care of Staci until the day she dies. So I feel like Staci was in her relationship for 16 years and she really trusts her husband.
You
And
cannot really believe that.
she trusts her husband.
No, no,
I
no. That's
believe
not what I'm saying.
I believe he's going to do right by Arabella.
Let's keep moving.
Okay. Now listen.
Because this is just like, look, I am disturbed. I am disturbed by Staci, and I'm disturbed by you. I'm gonna need you to get on this bandwagon and be like, she done.
So if you were to unforeseeably break up with your husband, you don't think your husband would take care of your kids?
I hope my husband would take care of his kids.
Well, I know. First of all, I feel like I could be Staci and speak for your husband. Your husband gonna take care of your kids. Period.
Look, ain't no
Listen,
telling.
No,
telling. No, seriously, because this is the thing that I always say with my husband. Like, I do believe that my husband would take care of my kids.
Your husband.
But no. I don't know. I know. I believe, but that don't mean I know. And what I do is believe, but verify and get that in writing. So that's the thing. And I don't think my husband would have a problem of putting it in writing, because he believes and thinks that he's gonna do that. But what I ain't gonna do is be played for no damn fool.
Well, listen, I know.
But clearly Staci is.
Staci and I know.
Because you never know. He could get remarried and he could have every intention of providing for Arabella, but then the new wife, okay, whatever, honey. But then the new wife gets involved, and you never know. All kind of stuff. He might be get into an accident and become mentally incapacitated. And then the money that was supposed to take care of Arabella is in the white thing. You never know. That's what I'm saying. You got to put these things down in writing, honey. Contracts. Well, anyway, moving on. Keep it moving. I don't even want you to say nothing else about it, because you're pissing me off.
Funny story as how I know J'tia's husband, despite whatever happened, would take care of them kids. While J'tia and I were in Idaho, J'tia's husband was home with the kids. J'tia and I called to check in. We called to check in with the kid. First of all, the kids was doing 1,037 other things. J'tia's husband said, your mom on the phone. They said, hey, mom, they went running. However, because first of all, I wanted to talk to J'tia's husband because I wanted to tell him how good I did at skiing. So we got him on the phone. Before we got him on the phone, he said, hey, kids, 5 minutes, TV off, you're going to bed. I said, oh, okay. So J'tia and I have her husband on the phone, and we're talking, and I'm telling him all about my story, what's going on. Do y'all know, in the middle of me telling her husband what I was doing, he said, 5 minutes, get in the bed, okay? Her husband was not playing with that 5 minutes. I mean, it was 5 minutes on the dot. He said, get in the bed. Anyway.
Okay, and that's my husband right now. However, he might, like, get into a car accident and be partially lobotomized. And you never know. Like, stuff could happen, is my saying. My point.
Well, we could get off of this because we need to talk about Staci's friend AJ, because AJ has been saying what the people have been saying. First of all,
oh my God, I was like, AJ, we see each other.
We see each other. First of all, AJ reminded a lot. Their relationship reminded me a lot of our relationship. Like, I feel like they were talking about old times. They just like how AJ was talking to J'tia is how I feel like I may or may not have been talking about J'tia when she first got with her husband and we was in Thailand and I saw the photo and I saw her husband was very attractive and J'tia got very mad at me. I don't know why, but
I
I
don't think
just
that's how it went, but we ain't got
I
time
think
for
that's
that
exactly how it
story.
went, but
You basically told me I was crazy because I told you I was about to pull this man and he about to be mine, and he's like, oh, whatever, whatever, and I was like, I don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just
yeah.
watch.
We were in Thailand. J'tia had just met her husband. She had went on one date with her husband before we left for Survivor. And while we're on Survivor, she is talking all about this man. He looked like Tyson Beckford. He is. And she is like hyping him up. I saw the photo and I was like, he okay? And
You did
J'tia
say that,
and
and you know,
J'tia
and
was
guess
mad.
did I what did I say to you? I said, oh, okay. And in my head, did that
No,
change?
no,
Anyway, look,
no,
that ain't
because
changed.
no, because
Wait.
I'm gonna tell the story. Because later that night, Alexis came to me and was like, J'tia is pissed off at you. I was like, for what? But
Yeah, because I
mhm,
talked to Alexis that much. Anyway, but
you
I don't.
did.
I probably
Mhm.
told her I didn't like what you said, but that didn't change anything
Alexis
how I
told me
felt.
what you said, Karen. Alexis told me, Karen.
Uh, you just trying to look. Don't be trying to rile me up for a good podcast,
I don't gotta rile you up. You was
because
riled up.
that's what you're doing now. Because anyway, yes, eagles don't care about the opinions of pigeons.
Oh,
Moving on.
oh, I don't want no pigeon. A pigeon is a guy, can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. But listen,
Look at that
AJ,
horse. Look at that horse.
that
Sorry,
horse.
God.
Okay, Staci said, yeah. AJ said, girl, you about to be divorced. You was with a man for 16 years. What's up? Who you being nasty with? What you doing? Staci said, I got a best friend. AJ said, huh? I don't really like no best friend. Then TJ called. And the fact that AJ
Mhm.
was like, he was extra and I'm extra. I thought that that was very telling.
I loved I loved AJ. AJ brought it. AJ need a friend zone. Can we get a friend
Okay.
zone for AJ? Because AJ is like all these things that you thought about Staci. Like I felt like AJ is like, nah, boo. I know you. You ain't gonna play me like that. Like, oh, her fine. He brought out the pictures of them back in Chicago. Like he like, I know you from way back, girl. Find somebody else. Pick somebody else. Okay.
Okay.
So I love that he like brought her down a peg or two. Said what everybody else was thinking. So we know, look, we know we're not the only ones who think those things. I also just want to for it was the most awkward meeting between TJ and AJ. And TJ like his where was the bonnet when you met AJ? Where was bonnet TJ when you met AJ? I felt like AJ tried to drop his voice down 2 octaves and stop
Mm-hmm.
acting like a little bitch for 5 minutes
Oh,
while he like yeah, because remember before AJ got there, he was like, I'm just gonna sit here and acting like that again, acting like uh all up in women's business. Okay.
you gonna stop acting like a okay, Peter.
Yes. Peterina. He was acting like Peterina, trying to be all up
Not
in the business and was mad because he couldn't be in the
Patricia.
scene with everybody else. So I thought it was lovely that AJ just kept it real about Staci. So yes, AJ wins for me. Okay. I'll take
Yeah.
AJ over TJ.
I was loving AJ. And again, AJ was just like, I know you. He is not who I would pick for you. And I just thought that was very telling. We also get
Mm.
we get to see Sheila a little bit. This episode in the season finale is Uncle Lump's wife's birthday. And so we are celebrating their birthday. Ashley reveals to her family that her and what's her husband name? Her and Michael have filed for divorce, and now they are waiting for the state of Virginia to approve their divorce. I thought that was a huge milestone for Ashley because this is what the third
Mm-hmm.
season we on this divorce.
Baby, the divorce be longer than the marriage.
Okay, listen. Another interesting and emotional scene we got to see was Giselle planting the tree in the backyard with her daughters to show love to her father. Her father, she had said in previous episodes that her father always came down during the holiday season and they used to pick a Christmas tree and decorate it. And so they were putting in a pine tree in her backyard to just, commemorate her father. I thought that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought it was a little awkward. Like, I don't know if they've ever planted anything before, but like, you should probably plant the tree so that like you don't see the soil and just the tree. But I'm gonna let Giselle slide with that because I thought it was really heart touching to see her like, kind of like have this memory of Pops even when he's still not there.
It was very nice. But really, in this episode, it all goes down at the Strut for Straight.
Well, listen, because we didn't really talk about in episode 16, after Giselle delivers the message that she is not going to be participating in Struts for Strays, neither is Karen, and gives the reason about how they felt like she took Mia's side. Well, we see Mia and Staci going out to dinner at the end of episode 16, and Staci is dropping the bombs, essentially telling Mia that Karen took her out before they was filming and let her know that Mia is not Potomac and don't trust Wendy. And baby, that is the antithesis of episode 17 because it all blows up. Now, I don't know if
I
that's something you...
don't. No, it's not. I was like, that is not the antithesis. But that is the crux and basically the beginning of the narrative of what happens in the last episode. And so we get to the confrontation, honey. The confrontation is happening. And Staci has brought it back to Chicago. The Staci that AJ knows has arrived. Okay. Gone is the sweet diction and flying is the accusations. Also, before we go a little further, let's talk about Staci's wig.
They were hating on Staci's wig. I liked Staci's wig.
It was not that bad.
I'm like, now, Ashley, we seen you with shortcuts in your confessionals. Like, I don't know if you're the one that should be talking about hair, Ashley.
Well, not only that, but it was as ugly as the wig that she had on when she was talking about Staci's wig. Okay, Staci's wig was better than that mauve mess that you had on. So I was like, girl, you do not have room to talk, honey. But I thought it was cute. Somebody else said it looked like Whitney Houston here, and I was like, no, not actually.
Not Bobby.
No, it don't. That was shorter. I thought it was all right. I like the change up. Because she does usually have, a long straight black hair look. So it was nice. I thought everybody looked really nice at the Strut for Strays, but yeah, they were ready. Staci was ready for her moment, honey. Lights, camera, action. You're on in 3, 2, boom. It was on. Boom. And so.
But I also thought it was interesting because not only did Staci tell Mia this, Ashley reveals to Giselle that a week ago, Staci and her were hanging out, and Staci told Ashley the same thing. So for me, what I loved about Staci in this is that Staci went on a tour, right? Like Staci was wanting this to get back to the grand dame. I'm like, okay, Staci, you is getting out of being stiff and you are learning how to play these girls when they want to play you, because Staci said, okay, Karen, you want to send me this shady text message? You want to not come to my event? Let me show you how to play these games, because I said, okay, Staci.
Yeah, Staci showed up. And what I love is that Staci meant no words, honey. Staci's story was what? Consistent. Staci's story had sources. She had multiple sources. Child, not only that, but then the grand dame, all she could do was just act shocked, honey. Shocked and shook, shocked and shook, and shocked and shook. Because she would never say anything like that about Dr. Wendy, her bestie, who has invited her to the White House.
Who has been nothing but supportive of Karen since it was the throuple of Candace, Wendy, and Karen. Wendy has been nothing but supportive and a rider for Karen. And so it was very interesting. And not only did Staci have receipts, it was when Karen was trying to deny it, like, oh, that ain't never happened. When they said
Curls, look, the pearls were being clutched.
She said she took me to one of her hometown restaurants, one of the staples. And at that point in time, everybody was like, now, the real moment of when Staci and Karen are sitting
Mhm.
down and they're going back and forth, and Karen was like, it's my turn to talk. Let me teach you, what does she say? Etiquette 201.
201.
Zip it. When they were giving zingers back and forth, and when Staci was saying something, and then Karen said, "I'ma just sip on this." When Staci said, "And what are you drinking?" I said, "Oh, Staci has secured her spot for
Look, with
season
that
10."
one zinger, honey, she hit it out the park. I was like, dang, and what are
Now,
you
mind
drinking?
now, mind you, Karen ate with her comeback. Karen said hard liquor. I said, "Oh, Karen."
I don't think that was a very good comeback.
I mean, it was witty. It was still a comeback, but no, Staci hit her with a bop bop. Now, it was interesting because when we're getting in different people's confessionals, Wendy's like, I don't not believe that Karen didn't say this. I know Karen said this. And for me, see, like I really do feel like we were witnessing the downfall of the Grand Dame this season. She wasn't
Yes.
herself. We know she was dealing with all of this negativity with the court case looming, and she kind of just wasn't herself. But at this point in time, I really feel like it was Wizard of Oz, and we got to Oz, and the curtain was drawn because it was like Karen didn't really have any allies. The one ally that she did have was Wendy. And with this being down, it wasn't a good look for Karen. And knowing what we know about the court case, knowing the fact that she was guilty, all of this stuff, and seeing how this season ended, for me, it makes sense as to why she checked into rehab and did not want to sit at this reunion because, baby, I know they coming for Wendy. I mean, Mia at this reunion, but Karen was going to be held to the cross. You could have called Karen Jesus.
Well, so Karen had to be against Mia because if not, all the smoke was on her. I'll tell you that. So I think that was actually the real gag goop deflection was that Karen was coming so hard for Mia because if not, then what do y'all talk about and gossip about when y'all get together? So I think that's the real tea and why she was doing a lot of what she was doing. But I don't think she can hold some of this up. I think it is straining on her for her to be quiet at the times that she was quiet, like when she tried to come for Mia, and then when Staci came for her. Yeah, I do think she's not fighting at full capacity, because she fighting for her life. Yeah, she do. She need to get off the show and go to rehab and do that and take care of her life and let Ray take care of her. So that's just my opinion. I also just look, I love the Grand Dame too. She is up there, but I just think, yeah. And also she's a woman of a certain age. Not saying that, but like at a point in time, you don't want to be fighting with those chicks who just trying to make it on the show when you've been on the show, honey. They got something to prove. You
Yeah,
got
but
something to lose.
it's the fall of grace that like I don't love seeing of Karen because I haven't always agreed with Karen, but we love the Grand Dame and the character that is. But just see, this is a very hard fall from grace for me to see, and for it to come at the hands of Staci, and essentially Staci being like she felt like Karen was trying to make it so that Staci would be loyal to her and not trust the other girls, and it seeming to
Why would
backfire.
she not? Why
But
would
that's
she
what all the
not?
girls do.
That's what I'm saying. That I don't fault her for that. I think Karen could have had a better comeback than just being like, oh, who me? She could have done better than that. But again, I think that was also not fighting at full capacity. Instead
Yeah.
of saying like I never said anything like that. That never happened. She could have spent
Oh,
it
I
and be
didn't.
like,
Oh,
look,
I didn't meet with her. We met at the place. Oh, I remember now. I was like, come on, come on. This ain't the Grand Dame
girl.
we know, baby. This ain't
Right,
the
because
Grand Dame.
she'd have cut, and she could have been like, "Look, at the time I wasn't feeling Wendy, so I was just trying to say." That's what she should have said. At the time I wasn't feeling Wendy, and I was trying to give you the tea, but you too stupid to take it. That's what. Look, that's what I would have told her.
Mm.
But you too dumb to fall in line, dummy.
Oh,
So and so whatever, and let the chips fall where they're made. I think that's better than looking weak and ineffectual. So Anyway, they decided to table the conversation
I
to
did
get
also think
ready.
that it was
What did
real
you think?
tacky of them. Obviously, they know in recording this that this probably will be the season finale, but I also thought it was kind of tacky to be like having all these conversations and monopolizing all of Stacy's time during her charity event. Like, this is all happening at
Look,
Stacy's event.
the only reason Staci had a charity event is because all those girls were there. I mean, that's honestly the only reason why she felt a little upset that Giselle and Karen weren't going to be in the show, because they're draws, right? So you're going to have all the. I mean, they did decide to come, and that's great. But we know that a lot of the things that the women, the businesses they support, the charities that they support, they get a lot of draw from bringing on the Real Housewives. That's why one of the things, if you're trying to really hurt a housewife, you boycott their events, and then they get no
Or you
zhuzh,
don't film with
no
them.
shine. Right. So I will say that she wouldn't even had an event if she couldn't promise that all of them would have been there. So, and that Bravo was filming, and like, yeah, those dogs, it wasn't even that many dogs. Did you really need to have that big of an event for 5 dogs or whatever, 7 dogs? And speaking of the dogs, co-dogs. Okay, so everybody comes out in their fashions. I would have also declined to participate in wearing a very nice fancy dress and carrying a dog. I'm not a huge dog fan, so yeah. But everybody comes out in their dog fashions. TJ is, making his smart retorts that are not that funny. And then all of a sudden, he has his girlfriend, oh, I'm sorry, best friend, disappear, because it is now her time to walk the dog on the catwalk so that the dog can be supported. But before she goes, she does let Wendy walk out and announces that Wendy actually has gone above and beyond and adopted a dog. And who is the most shocked by this? None other than himself than Mr. Wendy Happy Eddie, who did not know that they had adopted yet another dog.
Yeah. Happy Eddie didn't look so happy. He looks confused. He might need to get an Eddie. It also looked like Mia adopted a dog as well, her and Ink. And the fashion show was, I
I don't
guess you
know.
could,
Did her and Ink, or did her and
Gordon.
Gordon? Who adopted the dog? Who the dog? Do we need a paternity test on the dog? No.
We might need to paternity test the dog to see who is actually the owner of the dog. And then at the end of the episode, the DJ did the smoke thing, which sent all the dogs in an array, which had the dogs defecating and the ladies all screaming around. Now, mind you, here was another thing for me.
I need to see how much poop was actually out there.
Because Karen throwing up, for me, I felt like, girl, you're doing the most. And I felt like Karen was trying to make it seem like the event was just so horrible, because it's like, why are you throwing up, Karen? Why?
I loved it. Please throw up, honey. Like, she's like going, and first of all,
I ain't see
I
nothing come out of
wanted
Karen's
her.
mouth.
I probably not, but I wanted her to throw up because I needed the sounds to stop. But I love that she was being ridiculous, over the top, and dramatic. I needed to see, like, because I felt like I kept seeing the same pieces of poo. So I need to know, like, there was only like 6 dogs. How many dogs pooped? Okay, I need to know how many dogs pooped. And they were relatively small dogs. So that was also another consideration. But they acted like, I mean, it was so loud. It
First,
was, they had.
did you see Keiarna throw the dog when she, like, I'm like, this is a charity event for the dogs, and you got Keiarna throwing a dog.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I would have politely declined, because, yeah, don't
And
nobody want to be crapped on by a dog.
Giselle's reasoning wasn't looking so bad now. But then we get that's the end of the episode. We get the updates on the girls. The only update that I really care about, 2 updates that I really cared about the most, was learning that Keiarna and Greg house got built. Keiarna moved in for a very short period of time, and then Keiarna moved out. So it looked like Keiarna and Greg did not stand the test of time. All of the other updates were relatively the same. Ashley still dating that boy, Giselle still dating that guy. Of course, they're going to put that in their closings because we know Giselle, Ashley, and some other housewives have filmed a dating show that's going to probably come out soon. So of course they'll have that in there. Only they had the Mia on there, but we already knew what was happening with Mia. But listen, Bravo let us know that at Karen's court hearing, the cameras were back up. Okay, they were going to get their extra footage of Karen leaving out of the home, going into the courtroom dressed in all black, and they give us the news that Karen was found guilty.
Hold on, wait. Can we talk about the smallest umbrella ever that Ray was holding over her head? Again, I was like, oh
it
my
wasn't
God,
even over her head, but we're going to leave Ray alone. We are going to leave Ray alone.
It was like one of the little baby parasols. Like, I was like, get a golf umbrella, dude. So keep going.
We're going to leave Ray alone because we've seen Ray in those footage, the body cam footage, and Ray was standing on business. And so they revealed he really was. He was like, oh, and she's like, my husband's going to answer me. He was like, well, baby, I think they want you to answer, and I think you should probably be quiet. Now, we get to the trailers of the reunion. Now, mind you, Andy has gone on to say that he feels like this is a top tier housewife reunion. Me thinking, how can it be top tier if we don't have Karen? However, some of the sound bites that we got from this reunion, i.e., there was someone in the car with Karen that fled the scene allegedly. Then this phone call with Happy Eddie and TJ. Safe to say that I will absolutely be tuning in to this reunion, and I think it's going to be a 3-part reunion, so we will definitely cover it here. What were your thoughts on this season and the ending, J'tia?
I did not like the ending. I don't know. It was just kind of like fluff and throwaway, and I was like, you missed the good parts. However, I am living to see this video, mailed-in video from Karen. I think that's a bad idea. Like, you either show up, honey, or you don't show up, but don't show up.
It didn't look like she had glam on. It looked like she was just at home. And it seemed like a lot of the ladies were emotional. So I will definitely be tuned in next week to see it. We will come back in 2 weeks and cover the first 2 episodes and then cover the last episodes. But it's been such a pleasure for you guys listening to our takes on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Dr. J'tia, Taylor Hart, we appreciate you so much for always coming back and covering Potomac with us.
I love talking Potomac and talking with the Purple Pants podcast. Thank you for having me. Yay! Can't wait. Next time.
We'll be back in 2 weeks to cover some of the reunion. Thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the Brice Isaiah YouTube page. Give this video a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments what you think. And also make sure you are subscribed to the Purple Pants podcast. We are available on all podcast platforms. We will see you soon. Goodbye or au revoir until later.
Ooh, it's the Purple Pants podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh, it's the Purple Pants podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.